Red Thread Charities. Our mission is to improve the lives of children in China by establishing regional health and development training centers in orphanages so that they can achieve self-sufficiency. Most children in China live at home, go to school, and have hopes for a bright future. But there are many babies born with special needs whose parents have no resources to pay for their child's health care. The result? Many children are abandoned and raised in orphanages without the benefit of even basic health care. These are the children that Red Thread Charities helps. Red Thread Charities was established in 2006 to help Chinese orphanages provide meaningful care for their children. Doctors, nurses, and therapists volunteer their time and pay their own way to China to provide basic health care to these children and train nannies in basic child development techniques. Our medical volunteers soon discovered that the orphanages are home to many children with disabilities who need more than physical examinations and more than basic care, much more care than they had been receiving. We also learned that there are many families in the local communities that cannot find any services for their disabled children. Red Thread Charities is helping local orphanages establish therapy centers for special needs children living in local communities. The regional training centers are intended to become self-sufficient within 3 years of their establishment. By serving disabled children from both inside and outside the orphanages, the regional training centers can have a much broader impact on child health care in China. Early indications are that disabled children who had been considered at one time unadoptable are now being placed into loving homes, and disabled children that otherwise might have been given up by their families to a life in institutions will now have a chance to stay with their families.
This is a little boy who lives in foster care with these two parents. He's blind. He spontaneously wanted to show us how he could do a somersault. Maybe he'd do one more for us.
When Red Thread Charities began its work at the Lanxi Orphanage in March of 2007, most of the children encountered suffered from a variety of disabilities. None had received any meaningful treatment up until that time. Red Thread Charities began to provide physical examinations and recommendations to the orphanage directors and to the orphanage nannies on how to care for these children with disabilities. In October of 2007, the medical group included a physical therapist and an occupational therapist who showed the nannies a number of techniques to use with these children. Between March 2007 and October of that same year, we witnessed some improvement. And when we looked in on the children during the summer of 2008, the improvement was dramatic. And most recently, during our medical visit in October of 2008, we saw that the improvement in the quality of life for these children is simply undeniable. Several of Lanxi's unadoptable children have been adopted since we began our work there in the spring of 2007. Red Thread Charities has also established a regional training center in Guiping, home to approximately 50 children, mostly with disabilities. Ling is a 10-year-old girl living in the Guiping orphanage. When we met her in October of 2007, she could not walk and would not talk. Most of the day, she simply lay in a bed. Our medical team examined the children and instructed the caregivers in various physical and occupational therapy techniques. Red Thread Charities hired a physical therapist and a special education teacher in China to continue the training at intervals during the year. Ling was one of the children who received therapy every day. In October of this year, we were astounded at the transformation in the children. We were rewarded by being able to watch the kids singing, clapping hands, making drawings, and playing like children in families. Ling is now walking unassisted. She has also started talking. The story she tells of her abandonment is difficult to hear, but her smiling face tells us she is obviously enjoying her interaction with the nannies and the rest of the children. We were told that every morning she is waiting at the door to physical therapy to receive her treatment. Her improvement is truly remarkable.